Alright, so welcome to your mobility and stretching. So first up, we're going to start with the world's greatest stretch. So you're going to be nice and long in your body. Bring one leg up, take your elbow down, and raise all the way back. So I'm doing this fairly quick in the video, but if you're quite stiff, you want to slow this down and take your time with it. Really try and get your elbow to hit the ground if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter. You'll get there eventually. And try and take your foot as high up to your hand as you can so you get a nice stretch in your legs also. So we're going to be hitting each one for 45 seconds. Okay, so now you can take 15 seconds to rest. Next up, we're going to be stretching your hamstrings and the muscles in the back of your body and your core. So you're going to start with your hips in the air. Try and push your heels into the ground, and then you're going to try and bring your shoulder blades together, stretching out your abs. So it's up to you on this how long you want to hold. If you feel particularly stiff in your calf muscles or hamstrings, you can hold a little bit longer. And really try and stretch, so push your hips right down. In this position here, try and push your head as far through as you can, okay? You should notice your body starting to get a little bit easier now. Your muscles are getting a bit more stretched out. And now you're resting for another 15 seconds. So next up, we're going to be stretching your hips. So make sure you have your feet pointing straight down, as this is going to give you a deeper stretch in your hips. So now you're going to be leaning straight back, pushing your hips into the air, and try and pull your shoulders back so you're stretching out your chest at the same time. Then when you're ready, come forward and you're stretching under your arms. You can move side to side if you want to stretch out your lats a little bit more, and then you're doing the opposite again. So you're pushing your hips up nice and high, stretching your hips and your quads, pulling your shoulders back, and then you're coming forward to do the opposite. If you feel particularly stiff in any movement, then you can just redo that one again. Alright, and then you're resting. So next up, you're going to be lying on your back, and we're going to be stretching your hamstrings, your glutes, and your spine. So take your hand down to your sides, and with one leg, you're going to try and kick your hand, okay? So keep your hands in the same place, and you're just going to come over. So you're going to feel stretching in your lower back, stretching in your bum and in your hips, and in the backs of your legs. So try and keep your legs as straight as possible when performing this. If you can't hit your hands, it doesn't matter. Eventually you will be able to. If you want to do the movement slower than I am in this video, that's completely fine also. Just take your time with it and try and get a nice stretch throughout the back and the legs. Alright, very good. And now you're resting 15 seconds again. So next up, you're going to be lying on your front. Have your arms wide and have them pointing so you're almost making a goalpost. So we're going to be doing the scorpion stretch. So you're going to try and get your heel to touch the ground, okay? So bring your heel up into the air and try and touch the ground. So this is going to stretch your lower back. It's going to stretch the front of your hips, and it's also going to be stretching your chest. So make sure your elbows are directly out to your sides, and you should get a good stretch on your chest as you hook that heel over. Take your time with this. If you feel particularly tight on one side, you can hold a little bit longer. Alright, really nice. So now you're resting for 15 seconds, we got one more left. Our last stretch we're doing today is cat-cow. So you're going to be on your hands and your knees. Okay, so on your hands and knees, you're pushing your back down as much as you can and bring your chin as high up as you can, and then you're doing the opposite. So this is really good for your spine, as most of us spend a lot of time in front of a computer and your spine is very stiff. So this is going to get a good movement in your spine and help stretch the muscles out in your back and your core. So really try and pull your chin as high as you can on these movements. If you want, you can go through this entire sequence of videos again and again and keep doing it as much as you want. Alright, nice. Okay, good work. So take another 15-second break, and now we're moving on to your last stretch. So have your legs nice and wide, and you're going to be leaning in front of your body, okay? So you're stretching your hamstrings again. You're also stretching your muscles which are in the insides of your legs. If you can't reach your feet, it doesn't matter. Try and aim to grab your shins and try and pull yourself into the stretch. Try and push yourself down as much as you can. Now you're going to bring your legs together so your shoes are touching. Try and use your elbows to push your legs down to get more of a stretch in the hips. You can hold this for longer than the video is running if you want to. This is the last stretch, and this is all we're going to be doing for this video today.